What if I told you that the mastermind behind the most destructive weapon in human history was also a man shrouded in mystery and suspicion? This man is none other than J. Robert Oppenheimer, the lead scientist of the Manhattan Project. It was a time of war, and the stakes were unimaginably high. The United States was in a race against time and against Nazi Germany to develop a weapon of unparalleled power, the atomic bomb. Oppenheimer's role in this immense endeavor was pivotal. He was the captain steering the ship, leading a team of over 130,000 people across remote sites scattered throughout the country. His task? To focus on uranium enrichment, plutonium production and weapon design. The Manhattan Project was shrouded in layers of secrecy, with even its name being a cover. The true nature of the project was known only to a select few, with Oppenheimer at its helm. But with great power comes great responsibility. Oppenheimer was not just dealing with scientific equations and theories, he was dealing with the potential to alter the course of human history, and the weight of this knowledge was immense. Every day, every decision, every success, and every failure carried the weight of millions of lives. Yet, despite the pressure, Oppenheimer led his team to success. In July of 1945, the first atomic bombs were successfully tested, marking a significant victory for the Manhattan Project. However, this victory was not without its consequences. The bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in August of the same year marked the beginning of the nuclear age, an era that would forever change the face of warfare and geopolitics. Oppenheimer's leadership in the Manhattan Project would mark the beginning of an era defined by nuclear power, but it would also cast a long shadow over the rest of his life. This was a man who had unlocked the secrets of the atom, but in doing so, he had also opened Pandora's box, releasing a force that humanity would grapple with for generations to come. In July 1945, the world changed forever. It was then that a highly classified U.S. effort known as the Manhattan Project, led by J. Robert Oppenheimer, succeeded in testing the first atomic bomb. This marked the culmination of intense work by over 130,000 people, spread across remote sites in the U.S., focusing on uranium enrichment, plutonium production, and weapon design. Their objective was clear, albeit daunting: develop atomic weapons in response to concerns about Nazi Germany's potential development of such weapons. The successful testing of the atomic bomb was a major milestone, but it was only the first step in what would be a series of events that would alter the course of history. In August 1945, the fruits of their labor were seen, or rather felt, by the world when the US dropped atomic bombs on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. These bombings resulted in an unimaginable loss of life and destruction, prompting Japan's surrender and effectively ending the Second World War. But what was Oppenheimer's reaction to this? The man at the helm of the project that had created these weapons of mass destruction. Upon witnessing the successful test of the atomic bomb, Oppenheimer quoted a line from the Bhagavad Gita, an ancient Hindu scripture, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds." This poignant quote reflected the profound impact of the event, not just on Oppenheimer, but on the world at large. It underscored the devastating power of the atomic bomb, and the immense responsibility that came with its creation. It was a stark realization that the world had entered a new era, an era where mankind possessed the power to destroy itself. The atomic age had begun, and with it, the scrutiny of Oppenheimer would intensify. As the mastermind behind the atomic bomb, Oppenheimer would find himself under the microscope, his every action and word analyzed and questioned. But that's a story for the next scene. For now, let's take a moment to reflect on the dawn of the atomic age and the man who ushered it in. In the wake of the bombings, a new threat emerged, not from a foreign power, but from within the United States itself. As the dust of World War II settled and the atomic age dawned, J. Robert Oppenheimer, the mastermind behind the Manhattan Project, found himself under a cloud of suspicion. Oppenheimer, the man once hailed as a national hero for his role in bringing an end to the war, was now being viewed with mistrust. The roots of this suspicion lay in his alleged ties to a Soviet spy ring. The very characteristics that had once made him an asset, his intellect, his charisma, his ability to rally a team, were now being seen as potential threats to national security. The Cold War had begun, and America was gripped by a fear of communism that would come to be known as the Red Scare. In this climate of suspicion and paranoia, Oppenheimer's past associations and political leanings were scrutinized. His name was linked to individuals under investigation for espionage, and soon, Oppenheimer himself became the subject of scrutiny. The investigation into his activities was thorough and invasive. His personal and professional life was picked apart, and the impact on his reputation was immense. The man who had once been the face of American scientific achievement was now being painted as a possible traitor. The suspicions were so strong that even after Brig General Leslie Groves, the military head of the Manhattan Project, cleared Oppenheimer of any wrongdoing, the shadow of doubt refused to lift. The allegations had left an indelible mark on his legacy, tainting his contributions and casting a pall over his achievements. Despite being cleared by Brig General Leslie Groves, the suspicions around Oppenheimer would continue to haunt him. The man who had played a crucial role in shaping the world as we know it, found himself grappling with a battle of a different kind. One that questioned not just his actions, but his very loyalty to the nation he had served. Oppenheimer's story is a complex one, marked by brilliance, ambition, and controversy. It's a tale that weaves itself through the tapestry of the 20th century, leaving indelible marks on science, war, and global politics. In the realm of science, Oppenheimer's legacy is colossal. As the director of the Manhattan Project, he oversaw the creation of the world's first atomic bombs. His genius and leadership were instrumental in harnessing the destructive power of the atom, a feat that would forever change the face of warfare and geopolitics. But his legacy extends beyond the laboratory and the battlefield. Oppenheimer's work on the atomic bomb was a catalyst for the nuclear arms race, a chilling chapter in history that saw nations amassing arsenals capable of annihilating entire cities in the blink of an eye. This escalation of destructive power reshaped the global landscape, creating a delicate balance of terror that defined the Cold War. At the same time, Oppenheimer's story is also one of controversy. His alleged ties to a Soviet spy ring raised eyebrows, casting a shadow of suspicion over his accomplishments. Though ultimately cleared of these charges, the controversy has left a lasting imprint on his legacy, serving as a reminder of the precarious intersection of science, politics, and national security during a time of global conflict. Yet, for all the controversy, Oppenheimer's role in the development of atomic weapons is undeniable. His work marked the dawn of the atomic age, changing the course of World War II and shaping the world as we know it today. His story, fraught with brilliance and controversy, is a testament to the transformative power of scientific discovery and the moral complexities it can engender. Ultimately, Oppenheimer remains a pivotal figure in history, his secrets and the suspicions around him a testament to the complex realities of the atomic age. His legacy, much like the atomic age itself, is a complex mosaic of scientific achievement, moral quandary, and geopolitical upheaval. And it's a legacy that continues to resonate, echoing through the corridors of time to remind us of the profound impact one man can have on the world. Oppenheimer, a man of secrets, a man of suspicions, but who truly was he? We've journeyed through the life of J. Robert Oppenheimer, the brilliant physicist who stood at the helm of the Manhattan Project, the classified U.S. endeavor that ushered in the nuclear age during World War II. He was a man of immense intellect, leading a team of over 130,000 individuals across remote sites in the United States. Their focus: uranium enrichment, plutonium production, and weapon design. The fruit of their labor? The atomic bombs that were dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in August 1945, leading to Japan's surrender. But Oppenheimer's story doesn't end with the conclusion of the war. As we've seen, his life was shrouded in controversy and suspicion. He was a man who faced allegations of ties to a Soviet spy ring, a man who was constantly under the microscope despite his monumental contributions to the war effort. His clearance by Brigadier General Leslie Groves is a testament to the complexity of his persona, a reflection of the dichotomy that was his life. Reflecting on Oppenheimer's role in the Manhattan Project, we see a man who was both a catalyst for scientific advancement and a figure of suspicion. He was a man who carried the weight of his secrets and the burden of suspicion, all the while contributing to one of the most significant moments in human history. In the end, Oppenheimer's story serves as a reminder of the human element behind history's most monumental moments. And it leaves us with a question: what secrets do those who shape history hold, and at what cost do they carry their suspicions?